I want to change for me. That I want to change because of me, not because of others. And this is important for me. Okay, that's what willingness is. And everybody has to come to this point. Nobody can push to this point. We are so obsessed of how do we look from the outside and the clothes we wear and, like the makeup and all of those things. And then most people never even think about, like, when did I clean my body from the inside the last time, did a detox or a fast or something to take care of my body from the inside. And if you never put any work in that, it's going to be just like overgrown with weed and, it's not going to look nice. And the result is that you're not going to feel good in your life. Hello and welcome back to my podcast, Self-Discovery Simplified. And if you don't know what self-discovery is and why you should do self-discovery if you want to change your life, then check out my previous episode where I explain what self-discovery is and why is it good for you. Continue from last week's episode where we dove in deeper into what self-discovery is and why is it so vital if you want to create positive change in your life. So we basically established that the only effective way to change your life is through self-discovery, through becoming aware of the internal obstacles and the reasons inside you why your life is unfolding in a certain direction. And with that awareness, you can make better choices and you can stir your life kind of into a direction that you more desire. And I think everybody wants that, right? I certainly want that. And I always wanted that. That's what brought me onto this path of self-discovery. And it is a very effective way, but it is not a magic pill. So I think that's the main reason why people are not doing it and not dedicating themselves to this process, because I think the culture today is so much about this fast everything, right? You can learn everything in 15 minutes. You can become anybody straight away. You can write your book in like 3 hours and publish it. And I don't know, all these kind of insane messages that we are bombarded by every day through the media, through the internet. I think they really bringing this message through that change is instant. And people, like, I mean, if you look around, things are changing very fast. So in a way that is true. But if you think about to change yourself, the way you think, the way you see things, the way you behave, especially if you are like middle-aged or older, when these behaviors, these perspectives are very ingrained in your life and very habitual, then it's not so easy to do that. It's not so easy to, to create a change overnight. And miracles are always possible and we love miracles, but, most of the time, if you suffered from something, from depression for 30 years, then you cannot expect that you go to one session, or to a workshop or something, and that's going to solve all your problems that accumulated throughout, a big chunk of time. I think this message, that's something I want to tell you, that this message that there is result without effort, that is not true. Like, based on my experience, right? Like I never experienced this, right? If you want some result, then you have to work towards it and put some effort in it in order to create that result that you're wanting, you're liking. And this is true even with people who are like super good in what they are doing, like world-class athletes or, just very intelligent people who reach, like very high level of expertise in some field. They dedicate their whole life. They practice all the time. They train all the time. They just learn and study all the time to be better in what they are doing. So yeah, God-given talent, I think that exists, that people have talent and gifts to do certain things, and that's quite effortless. But if you want to kind of use that gift in service to yourself, in service to humanity, and do something with it, again, that's, you have to put in some effort in order to do that, right? So I just want to emphasize this point that you get out what you put in. Okay, if you have a garden, if you have a house with a garden and you have a garden and you don't put any effort into your garden, then your garden is gonna be like just ugly and neglected, and it's not gonna look nice, right? But if you every day, if you dedicate some hours and you plant flowers and like put out I don't know, something for the bees and water for the and seeds for the birds, and you plant trees and you make a little nook where you can read your book. Like if you do all this, then you're gonna have a beautiful garden that you can enjoy, right? So it's the same idea with self-discovery. It's like imagine that you have a garden inside of you, and that garden you never, took care of. You never even thought about it. Most people, I think, never think about it. Oh, I have a garden that I never, pay attention to. It's the same like, cleaning your body from the inside. Like we are so obsessed of how do we look from the outside and the clothes we wear and, like the makeup and all of those things. And then most people never even think about like, when did I clean my body from the inside the last time, did a detox or a fast or something to take care of my body from the inside. And this is in a way like that, but I'm talking about not your physical body, but more like your emotions, your past things that you still carry, your thoughts, your beliefs, your values, the perspectives that you have, the filters that you have when you look at the world, right? So these are things that are part of your inner garden. And if you never tend to that garden, if you never pay attention, if you never put any work in that, it's going to be just like overgrown with weed and, it's not going to look nice. And the result is that you're not going to feel good in your life. Okay. You're going to be unhappy. You're going to be unfulfilled. You're not going to succeed in your relationships. The same kind of challenges will come to you over and over again. You will repeat the same mistakes, and just a lot of consequences that most people faces, right now, even as we speak. Like we all humans and we all have challenges, right? So there is a big price for neglecting your internal landscape, your internal garden, that reality, and never paying attention, never nourishing yourself, emotionally, mentally, sometimes physically, your physical body, right? And these things kind of add up, and it's going to be like a snowball effect. And then, when you're 50, you are depressed and you have cancer and whatever, and you're like, I don't understand, why are these things are happening to me. And I think that's the first kind of step, or the first phase of discovery, is when we don't understand, and we are just totally dumbfounded and confused, like, why are these things happening to me? Why they don't happen to other people? What's wrong with me? And the first and most natural thing that we do is to blame others, right? When we try to find the answers to these questions, is the most simple thing is to blame others and blame the government and your partner and your neighbor and your kids and the economy and the planets, the astrology, I don't know, like all kinds of things we can blame that are outside of ourselves, to try to explain why our life is the way it is. And this is completely futile, because it's not true, and it's not gonna help you, right? The only thing that will help you is to start taking responsibility and start recognizing that you have to do something with it, with your life, how your life is playing out, how your life is unfolding. You are, a vital participant and contributor in that. And there is a lot that you can do to influence your life to go into a certain direction. And that's the truth, right? Until we are in this blame and putting the responsibility outside outside of ourselves, it's a very disempowering situation, because when you feel and when you think that this is not my fault, that means that there's nothing I can do about it. So there's nothing to do, just to complain, right? And that's not helping the situation. That's not solving your problem. So while this is a phase that most of us go through, but if you get stuck here, it's a very disempowering state, and it's challenging to move forward sometimes, because we don't have the power that is necessary in order to move forward. And the first step to reach for that power and to take that power is to take responsibility. So responsibility and power is like, goes together, and most people don't like that, but it is like this. Then when you take responsibility, you automatically take back your power, because when you're saying, okay, maybe there is something that I have to do with this. Yeah, maybe I'm participating either unconsciously or some weird way that I'm not aware of in creating this situation. Now, with that statement, you already imply that if you are part of it, if you are creating it, then you can recreate it or uncreate it, right? You can do something different. So that already implies that you are more empowered, and now you have more choice of what to do, which direction. So this is very important, and if you still feel that you just want to blame everybody and everything, that's okay, because I think everybody has their own pace, and people have to come to these turning points individually in their own timing, in their own rhythm, and there's nothing you can do to push somebody or to force somebody to come to certain realizations or to become aware of some things that is a blind spot for them. So yeah, don't hurt yourself if you are still there, but just to know that to move forward is the first step, is to take responsibility and say, I am part of this and I'm creating this somehow, and I have something to do with this. And if that's true, then I have to discover how I'm doing this and why I'm doing this, and how can I do something different, right? And now that is a direction that you can go towards, and that's what self-discovery is. The opposite would be kind of what we call insanity, is when you are repeating the same thing and expecting a different result, right? Your husband comes home and beats you up because he's drunk, and you are hoping that tomorrow he will not do that, right? So, and after 10 years, you're still hoping, and that, yeah, these are things that we have to recognize, that something is not working, and we need to change something in the equation in order to get a different result. So, change takes time, and especially if you're an adult, if you are older, and your life is your responsibility if you are an adult, okay? I'm not talking about children, because I'm not, specialized in dealing with children. Of course, it's a different situation when there's an underage child that we are talking about. That I'm talking about adults. When you are an adult and maybe you went through horrible things, yeah, as many people did, and oftentimes your wounding, your trauma is not your fault, but healing is still your responsibility, okay? So once you are an adult, what happened, and now it's your responsibility to fix it if you want to have a different life, a better life. And there is no magic heal, and every couple of years something comes up that and there is a magic pill, and now it's gonna fix all of our problems. But I have to break it to you that there is no magic pill. If you don't do this work, and if you don't dedicate yourself, then you're not gonna achieve much, and you're gonna just repeat the same old that you're probably familiar with what that is for you at this time. Based on my experience, there's 3 things that you need to transform your life and to get onto this path of positive change and self-discovery and healing and growth and empowerment and all that, right? That we all like to talk about. And the first thing is willingness. right? So willingness, what that means is that I want to change, yeah, because of me, and I'm doing this for me. So it's very important that, you can't change for other people. Okay, I'm going to change for my husband, for my partner, from society, for the neighbors, or whatever. This is extremely difficult to do that because you're not truly motivated, to maintain that behavior long term, because you're not doing it for yourself. So you have to come to this point when you are recognizing and you reach that point that you feel that I want to change, and I want to change for me. That I want to change because of me, not because of others. And this is important for me. Okay, that's what willingness is. And everybody has to come to this point. Nobody can push to this point. The second is openness. And what openness means to me is that I'm open to see things from a different perspective. So it's kind of like a mental, intellectual flexibility, because a lot of people are very kind of stubborn and very ingrained in their perceptions and select information just to justify what they already believe and discard any other perspectives effectively. So that's kind of like a habitual way of thinking for a lot of people. And in order to change, it's important, it's vital that you can open your mind and you can entertain thoughts and ideas that maybe previously you discarded and you said, I don't agree with this. This is not true. I don't want to think about this. Because if you are coming to a healing process or a transformational process with the intention that I'm going to just justify things how they are for me, and that's why I'm here for, then, that's not going to be very effective for you. Okay. So willingness and openness was the first two keys. And the third key is commitment. Okay. And that means that I am committed to do whatever is needed to get the results I want in order to change my life, right? And obviously, I'm talking about legal things and ethical things, and, I don't want to get comments on it, crazy ideas, what I'm willing to do. I mean that I'm committed to change, I'm committed that I'm going to do this process, even if it's uncomfortable, even if I'm not going to feel good at certain points, and even if I have to face some hard truth, even if I have to go through some discomfort, I'm still committed to do it, and to commit to it and to put my work into it. Okay, because if you think that this process is all sun and roses, then don't even start because this is hard. This is shadow work. We're going to talk about what shadow work is in another episode, but it's not so easy. That's why people don't do it, because most people just want to be comfortable, and growth is really outside of your comfort zone. And if you want to stay comfortable and you don't want to rock the status quo and you don't want to create any waves, in your little pond, which is your life, then this is not going to work, because the whole idea of self-discovery is to rock the boat, and to create, a new boat, so to say. So that's also very important, that we are committed, even though we are facing a challenging, journey, in a way, like hero's journey, right? And that, but you're still gonna do it because you want to do it, because it's for you to have a better life, right? So this is my little speech about, what you get out, what you put in, what you get out, in self-discovery, and the three most important things that you need for this to work for you, and why there is no magic pill, and why there is no results without effort, but also why it is worth everything to do this work, because you will feel better, your life will better, your relationships, your finances, your health, your well-being, your outlook on life, your quality of life. Like, And yeah, we're going to talk about a lot how your life can and will change if you do this for yourself, but you are the one to do it, right? So it's up to you. I hope this was inspiring for you. And practical tip for today is to pick one thing that you want to change in your life and be very exact what that is, okay? Not something general. On a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 means like I am not willing at all and 10 means I'm totally in, 100%, just observe and notice and reflect how willing and how committed you are on a scale of 1 to 10 to create this change in your life, whatever the change was that you written down that you want to create, okay? And just think about that, yeah? Maybe just contemplate that a little bit, and maybe you can think about what do you need to increase, that number if it's not a high number, okay? And if you want to share with us that out of the 3 things, which one is the most challenging for you? So openness, willingness, or commitment to change, which one is the most challenging for you and why? I would love to hear about that. And maybe we can, go more into like each key, to support you to succeed. All right. So see you in the next episode. Stay tuned and have a wonderful and magical day.